All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Saira Mujtaba and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch Ayushman Bharat PM Jai Sehat to ensure universal health coverage to the people of Jammu and Kashmir this afternoon. Prime Minister says some parties are pushing their political agenda by opposing new farm laws, reiterates government's offer of better options through agricultural reforms. Home Minister Amit Shah to launch several development projects at Amin Gaon in Guwahati today. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 95.77% in the country. Fatality rate declines to 1.45%. And in cricket, India on top as Australia loses early wickets in the opening session of second test at Melbourne. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch Ayushman Bharat PM Jai Sehat to extend coverage to all the residents of Jammu and Kashmir at 12 noon through video conferencing. The scheme will ensure universal health coverage and focus on providing financial risk protection and ensuring quality and affordable essential health services to all individuals and communities. Home Minister Amit Shah and Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir Manoj Sinha will also be present on the occasion. More from our correspondent.
Nearly a population of 1 crore will be benefited by the scheme PMJ on the pattern of Ayushman Bharat. All families in the UT will have now an annual health cover of rupees 5 lakh free on rotor basis. The virtual launch of the scheme by Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be live streamed in all medical blocks. It's worth mentioning that a population of 14 lakh comprising of weaker sections is already covered under Ayushman Bharat in the UT since 2018, and today's launch will provide the facility to rest of the population irrespective of social and economic status. Mushtaq Ahmed Tantre, AIR News, Srinagar.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has released the 7th installment of financial benefit under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi PM Kisan yesterday through video conferencing. With the push of a button, the Prime Minister enabled the transfer of more than 18,000 crore rupees to over 9 crore beneficiary farmer families. The Prime Minister also had a conversation with farmers from 6 different states during the event. The farmers shared their experiences about PM Kisan and also on various other initiatives taken by the government for the welfare of the farmers. In his address, Mr. Modi said, 18,000 crore rupees have been deposited directly in the bank accounts of more than 9 crore farmer families of the country with just one click. He said ever since this scheme started, more than 1,10,000 crore rupees have reached the accounts of the farmers. The Prime Minister stressed that the NDA government is committed to the welfare of the farmers.
कृषि क्षेत्र में क्या क्रांति आई है, क्या बदलाव आए हैं, क्या नए इनिशिएटिव आए हैं, क्या अर्थव्यवस्था के साथ कैसे जोड़ा है, सारी चीजों का गहन अध्ययन किया. इसके बाद हमने अपने अलग अलग लक्ष्य बनाए और सभी पर एक साथ काम शुरू किया कि देश के किसानों का खेती पर होने वाला खर्च, इनपुट कॉस्ट, ये कम हो, उसका खर्चा कम हो. सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड, यूरिया की नीम कोटिंग, लाखों की संख्या में सोलर पंप, ये सारी योजनाएं उनका इनपुट कॉस्ट कम करने के लिए एक के बाद एक उठाई.
Mr. Modi said the government is making life easier for farmers in the villages, but those making big speeches today did nothing for the farmers when they were in power. Mr. Modi said he is pained that more than 70 lakh farmers of West Bengal have not been able to get the benefit of PM Kisan. He said more than 23 lakh farmers of West Bengal have applied online to take advantage of the scheme, but the state government has stopped the verification process.
प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान योजना के पैसे किसानों को मिले, इसके लिए क्यों आंदोलन नहीं किए, क्यों आपने कभी आवाज नहीं उठाई और आप वहां से उठ करके पंजाब पहुंच गए, तब सवाल उठता है. और पश्चिम बंगाल की सरकार भी देखिए, अपने राज्य में इतना बड़ा किसानों को लाभ, 70 लाख किसानों को इतना धन मिले, हजारों करोड़ रुपया मिले, वो देने में उनको राजनीति आड़े आती है. लेकिन वही पंजाब जाकर के जो लोग के साथ वो बंगाल में लड़ाई लड़ते हैं, यहाँ आकर के उनसे गुपचुप करते हैं। क्या देश की जनता इस खेल को नहीं जानती है? क्या देश की जनता को इस खेल का पता नहीं है? जो आज विपक्ष में हैं, उनकी इस पर जुबान क्यों बंद हो गई है, क्यों चुप है?
Mr. Modi said some parties are pushing their political agenda by opposing the new farm laws, and some people are spreading myths, lies and rumors that land will be taken away if farmers enter into contract farming. Mr. Modi said, through the agricultural reforms, the government has given better options to the farmers.
लोकतंत्र के किसी पैमाने, किसी पैरामीटर को मानने को तैयार नहीं। इन्हें सिर्फ अपना लाभ, अपना स्वार्थ नजर आ रहा है। और मैं जितनी बातें बता रहा हूं, किसानों के लिए नहीं बोल रहा हूं। किसानों के नाम पर अपने झंडे लेकर के जो खेल खेल रहे हैं, अब उनको ये सच सुनना पड़े। और हर बात को किसानों को गाली दी, किसानों को अपमानित किया, ऐसे कर करके बच नहीं सकते हो आप। ये लोग अखबारों और मीडिया में जगह बना, राजनीतिक मैदान में खुद के जिंदा रहने की जड़ी बूटी खोज रहे, लेकिन देश का किसान उनको पहचान गया है। अब देश का किसान उनको ये जड़ी बूटी कभी देने वाला नहीं।
The Prime Minister stressed that the NDA government has been working with an aim to reduce the input cost of the farmers of the country and also try to ensure that the country's farmer gets a fair price for his crop.
हमारी सरकार ने प्रयास किया कि देश के किसानों को फसल की उचित कीमत मिले। हमने लंबे समय से लटकी स्वामीनाथन कमेटी की रिपोर्ट के अनुसार लागत का 1.5 गुना एमएसपी किसानों को दिया। पहले कुछ ही फसलों पर एमएसपी मिलती थी, हमने उनकी भी संख्या बढ़ाई।
The Prime Minister said the government has added more than 1,000 agricultural mandis of the country online. He said today a campaign is going on to create more than 10,000 farmer producer organizations or FPOs in the country, and financial assistance is being given to them. The Prime Minister said now the time has come for Brand India to establish itself in the agricultural markets of the world with equal prestige. Speaking on the occasion, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said the amount released under the scheme will greatly benefit the farmers.
इस योजना के क्रियान्वयन में न कोई बिचौलिया है, न कोई दलाल है। लगातार ये कोशिश की गई कि किसानों के पास डीबीटी के माध्यम से पैसा पहुंचे। 1 लाख करोड़ का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड का विषय हो, चाहे फूड प्रोसेसिंग के लिए फंड्स के प्रावधान का विषय हो, और चाहे नए कानूनों के माध्यम से किसानों को स्वतंत्र करने का मामला हो और किसानों के जीवन स्तर में बदलाव लाने का मामला हो, हर क्षेत्र में प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में सफलतापूर्वक कदम उठाए हुए हैं।
The government has said that 54,78,000 paddy farmers have been benefited from the current Kharif marketing season procurement operations with MSP value of over 84,178 crore rupees. Agriculture Ministry said over 445 lakh tons of paddy have been procured from different states. It said government continues to procure Kharif crops at its minimum support price from farmers as per its existing MSP schemes. With a continuous decline in the number of active COVID-19 cases, India has crossed yet another significant milestone as the active caseload in the country today further decreased to 2.78%. The active cases in the country witnessed a decline of nearly 2,000 cases in the past 24 hours to stand at around 2,81,000. The number of new daily cases remained below 25,000, with nearly 23,000 cases being reported in the last 24 hours. The national recovery rate has also further improved to 95.77%, with recovery of over 97,17,000 people so far. With the recovery of over 24,500 people in the last 24 hours, the number of daily recoveries continues to outnumber new daily cases. The total recovered cases in the country today stands at over 34 times the number of active cases. Enhanced countrywide medical infrastructure, implementation of the Centre's standard treatment protocol by the states and union territories, and total dedication and commitment of doctors, paramedics, and frontline workers have led to a persistent increase in the number of total recoveries and also a dip in the fatality rate, which stands at 1.45%. The Health Ministry informed that 336 case fatalities were reported in the past 24 hours. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said that the government has made extensive efforts in the past few months for identifying priority groups for immunization and ensuring quick and equitable distribution of the vaccine as soon as it is available. He said government has prioritized 30 crore people for COVID vaccine. It includes health workers, frontline workers and sanitation staff.
Our priority is going to be the health workers first, private as well as the public sector, followed by the frontline workers like the police and other sanitation people and all who work at the front level. And then, of course, our next priority is people who are above 50 years of age.
The Uttar Pradesh government has appealed to the people of the state to remain vigilant despite the fact that number of corona-infected patients are decreasing day by day in the state. There is a significant decrease in the containment zones and hotspot areas in the state also. Our correspondent reports, on an average, the government is conducting around 170,000 COVID tests daily.
More than 2 crore 31 lakh persons have been tested for COVID infection in the state till date, which is highest in the country. Teams of health department have conducted surveillance of around 17 crore people regarding corona infection. Uttar Pradesh is the first state of the country where such a large number of people have been tested for corona and health surveillance has been conducted. Yesterday, 1,236 new COVID patients have been found in the state, raising the total number of active COVID patients to 16,159. The recovery rate in state has further increased to 95.78%. Meanwhile, state government has launched a dedicated campaign for TB patients also from 25th December, which will run till 26th January 2021. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Bihar, 2,43,255 patients have so far recovered from the COVID-19 infection in the state. Currently, 5,347 patients are undergoing treatment at various hospitals. Meanwhile, COVID-19 recovery rate in Bihar has improved to 97.31%. This is 1.54% more than the national average. Over 1,13,000 corona tests were carried out in the last 24 hours. Over 1 crore 76 lakh corona tests have been conducted in the state so far.
In Gujarat, 910 new cases of COVID-19 detected during the last 24 hours. According to the State Health Department, the recovery rate further improved and reached up to 93.79%. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
The total number of COVID-19 cases detected so far in Gujarat has reached up to 2,40,105. Out of these, 2,25,206 patients recovered. 1,114 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. More than 93,30,000 tests have been carried out in the state till date. Maximum 191 new cases reported from Ahmedabad, while Surat recorded 153 new cases. At present, total active cases in the state are 10,631, out of which 62 patients are on ventilator. 6 patients died yesterday, taking the total deaths due to COVID-19 up to 4,268. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Dharavi, Asia's largest slum, reported zero COVID-19 case yesterday. This is the first time since April 1st, when the first coronavirus case was reported in Dharavi, that the slum pocket has reported no new case in a single day. According to BMC data, so far, Dharavi has reported 3,788 cases, of which only 12 are active. 3,464 persons have recovered and been discharged from COVID centers. So far, 312 people have died due to COVID-19 in Dharavi.
In Karnataka, 1,005 new COVID-19 cases were reported in the last 24 hours. 1,102 people recovered from the disease and were discharged from various hospitals in the state. 13,508 COVID patients are undergoing treatment across the state. Among them, 208 are in ICU. 5 COVID patients lost their lives and the total fatalities have increased to 12,044. 98,568 COVID samples were tested in the state in the last 24 hours and the total number of tests have increased to 1,35,14,392. Talking to AIR, Dr. Tanmay Talukdar, professor in Lady Hardinge Medical College, told that the new strain of coronavirus is very dangerous as the pandemic is spreading continuously. He urged the people to take all precautions to stay safe.
वायरस ज्यादा फैल रहा है, जिसके कारण इंग्लैंड में केसेस बढ़ गए हैं। परंतु घबराने की बात अभी तक इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि इससे इन्फेक्शन तो हो रहा है, लेकिन हॉस्पिटल एडमिशन में ज्यादा होना यानी सीवियर बीमारी होना या मृत्यु ज्यादा होना, उसका अभी तक कोई संकेत नहीं है। हमें बचाव करते रहना है, सावधान और सतर्क रहना है, उसके एक्शन लिए जाने हैं, लिए जा रहे हैं। हम सब जनता को, हम सब लोगों को ये ध्यान रखना है कि नियम हमारे लिए अभी भी वही हैं, चाहे ये नया स्ट्रेन हो चाहे पुराना स्ट्रेन हो। मास्क से तो ये अभी भी बचते हैं, हाथ धोने से अभी भी बचाया जा सकता है, और अगर हम फिजिकल डिस्टेंस यानी दूरी मेंटेन करें तो इस वायरस से भी उतना ही बच सकते हैं।
The News Services Division brings glimpses of the year that was in our special series Year Ender 2020. COVID-19 pandemic has been the biggest story of the year, and India has seen the fight back against the COVID-19 pandemic under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. A report from our correspondent on the initiatives made by the government to make India a digital country.
Digital India is playing instrumental role in every sphere of life of the people by providing seamless services and governance. It has immensely contributed to the growth of economy, quality of life, employment and productivity. The digital and tech solutions not only provided human-centric approach toward development but also made technology a key part of all the government schemes.
Digital India is no longer being seen as any regular government initiative. Digital India has become a way of life, particularly for the poor, marginalized, and for those in government. Using technology on such a large scale has brought about several life changes for our citizens.
The government launched the Digital India Mission with a vision to transform the country into a digitally empowered society and knowledge-based economy. The major thrust was given to create digital infrastructure by providing high-speed internet, digital identity, digital payment solutions, and safe cyberspace. Today, people are getting services, facilities, social, health, and financial benefits at their doorstep through this robust digital infrastructure. These digital technologies also played an important role in providing necessary help and assistance to millions of people during the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India will launch the world's largest COVID-19 vaccination drive with the help of mobile and digital technology. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
Talking to AIR News, CEO of Ayushman Bharat, Dr. Indu Bhushan said that digital technologies are helping in rolling out government's flagship health scheme, Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana.
At many levels, we have to cater to more than 50 crore people. So first, identifying a person, ensuring that the person is eligible, ensuring or confirming the identity of the person, and after that, following the whole treatment, making payment, all that is possible only because of very strong IT platform. We can also ensure that some standard treatment protocols are followed. For different health conditions, what kind of procedure should be followed, what kind of diagnostic should be done, that can be all ensured and monitored because of strong IT platform. We can also use the IT and machine learning and artificial intelligence for avoiding, deterring and mitigating fraud and abuse.
South African Health Minister Zwelithini Mkhize has strongly rejected his British counterpart's claim that the new coronavirus variant in the country is more contagious. In a statement, he said there is no evidence that the new variant causes more severe disease or increased mortality than the UK variant or any variant that has been sequenced around the world. However, the unease over mutations in the virus, first spotted in the United Kingdom, later in South Africa, continue to spread to more parts of the world. Germany, Switzerland and Japan said that they have identified their first cases. Earlier, Denmark, Netherlands, Australia and Belgium said they found the UK-linked variant. Around 50 countries have so far banned travel to and from the United Kingdom over concerns of the new variant. UK, in turn, has restricted travel from South Africa. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch Ayushman Bharat PM-Jay Sehat to ensure universal health coverage to the people of Jammu and Kashmir this afternoon. Prime Minister says some parties are pushing their political agenda by opposing new farm laws, reiterates government's offer of better option through agricultural reforms. Home Minister Amit Shah to launch several development projects at Amin Gaon in Guwahati today. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 95.77% in the country. Fatality rate declines to 1.45%. And in cricket, India on top as Australia loses early wickets in the opening session of second test at Melbourne. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah will attend a program at Amin Gaon in Guwahati to start several development projects. He will take part as the chief guest in the ceremonial program for the establishment of Guwahati's second medical college today. The Home Minister will also distribute financial assistance to Namghars under Aham Darshan scheme and also lay foundation stone for development and beautification of a tourist spot, Batadrava. In the same program, Mr. Shah will also ceremonially start the work of 9 law colleges today. Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal and his cabinet colleagues will also take part in the event. The Home Minister will also address the gathering. He will also hold a meeting with state BJP leadership during his visit. Union Minister for Road Transport, Highways and MSMEs Nitin Gadkari has said that the government is making 22 green express highways which are joining different parts of the country. In an exclusive interview to AIR News, Mr. Gadkari said the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream of Atmanirbhar Bharat to make India a #1 global economy in the world.
We are making 22 green express highways, one of the important highways Delhi to Mumbai. Then half of the highways construction is already completed and we will complete within 2 years. At the same time, we are making Delhi to Katra. That is, Delhi to Amritsar will be distance only we will go about 6 hours. And this is also going to connect Jammu Kashmir. And it is one of the important highway, Punjab, Haryana. It's giving a good support for industrial development. And the Prime Minister dream of making of Atmanirbhar Bharat a #1 global economy in the world. We are all committed and we will do it and we will achieve that goal.
The 2-day National Executive Meeting of Janata Dal United has been convened in Patna today. This is the first meeting after Bihar Assembly elections. Party delegates of different states will participate in this meeting. Party President Nitish Kumar will chair the meeting. The party will analyze its performance in Bihar Assembly elections. The top brasses of the party will also chalk out the strategy to contest Assam and Bengal Assembly elections, which will be held in the next year. Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has launched eSampada, new web portal and mobile app on Good Governance Day. The new application provides a single window for all the services, including allotment for over 1 lakh government residential accommodations, office space allotment to government organizations in 45 office complexes in 28 cities, and booking of 1,176 holiday home rooms. The portal provides online facility to users across India to lodge complaints, submit documents, and appear for virtual hearing.
The toll collection through FASTag crossed 80 crore rupees per day for the first time on Thursday, with record 50 lakh FASTag transactions per day. Road Transport and Highways Ministry said more than 2 crore 20 lakh FASTags have been issued to date. The FASTag has been made mandatory for vehicles from 1st of January 2021. The ministry said the National Highways Authority of India, NHAI, has made all necessary arrangements to provide seamless movement of vehicles at toll plazas. It said adoption of FASTag has helped highway users to save time and fuel at the toll plazas. The National Jal Jeevan Mission has launched Innovation Challenge for developing portable devices to test drinking water quality. The main objective of the exercise is to bring an innovative, modular and cost-effective solution to develop portable devices that can be used at the household level to test drinking water quality instantly, easily and accurately. Since the announcement of the Jal Jeevan Mission, so far 2 crore 90 lakh households have been provided tap water connections. The ministry said every household in 20 districts, 425 blocks, 34,000 gram panchayats and 64,000 villages of the country have now access to tap water connections.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow at 11 a.m. It will be the 72nd episode of the monthly radio program. It will be broadcast on the entire network of AIR and Doordarshan and also on AIR News website www.newsonair.com and News on Air mobile app. India's foreign exchange reserves rose by $2.563 billion during the week ended December 18. According to the Reserve Bank of India's weekly statistical supplement, the reserves increased to $581.131 billion from $578.568 billion reported for the week ended December 11. The value of the country's gold reserves also increased by $1.008 billion to $37.020 billion.
In the second test between India and Australia at Melbourne, the hosts are at 123 for 3 when reports last came in. Earlier, Australia won the toss and elected to bat. India made 4 changes. Batter Shubman Gill and pacer Mohammad Siraj have made their test debuts. Also, Ravindra Jadeja and Rishabh Pant returned to the playing 11. And now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. In Jammu, the lower level of temperature was 6 degrees Celsius, while the upper level will be around 20 degrees. The city may witness mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. Leh may witness mainly clear sky. Temperature dipped to minus 14 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around minus 0 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, partly cloudy sky is expected. The temperature will hover between minus 3 and 6 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad also, the sky will be partly cloudy. The temperature will hover between 1 and 14 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, temperature will hover between 5 and 22 degrees Celsius. City will have a mainly clear sky. Chandigarh may witness partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was recorded at 5 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be at 21 degrees Celsius. The national capital will experience moderate fog as minimum temperature dipped to 6 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be around 20 degrees Celsius. On to the north, in Srinagar, mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards the evening or night is expected. In Hyderabad, minimum temperature was 13 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 28 degrees. City may have fog or mist during early morning hours. Ahmedabad will see mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 30 degrees. Patna will have fog or mist in the morning and mainly clear sky later, with temperature hovering between 8 and 24 degrees Celsius. And Gangtok may see a generally cloudy sky today. Minimum temperature in the city was 6 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 12 degrees Celsius.
And now, over to press review. All newspapers have widely covered the PM's address yesterday when he virtually released the installment to marginal farmers under PM Kisan. Don't get misled. Modi leads government's mega farmer outreach, reports in the Sun Times. Opposition misusing stir, claims Modi. Give laws a year. Rajnath appeals to farmers, writes the Tribune. The Economic Times headlines, farmers will only gain from new laws, can build brand India, says PM. Hindustan Times writes, UKSA strains spark a battle of mutations. Papers have also covered the latest update on COVID in the country. Weekend Business Standard writes, dry run for COVID-19 inoculation next week. The Pioneer also notes, COVID vaccine dry run on December 28-29. The Tribune writes, 150 troops in Delhi for Republic Day test positive. The paper also shows a picture of Shimla where all precautionary measures were thrown to the winds as people swarmed the hill station in a holiday mood. The headline says, norms give and go by as tourists throng Shimla, adding, few visitors wearing face masks rule locals. And finally, the Economic Times report that denizens of the capital may expect more chilly weather in the days to come. A tot won't make it hot amid cold wave in NCR, says IMD.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Modi to launch Ayushman Bharat PM Jai Sehat to ensure universal health coverage to the people of Jammu and Kashmir this afternoon. Prime Minister says some parties are pushing their political agenda by opposing new farm laws. Reiterates government's offer of better option through agricultural reforms. Home Minister Amit Shah to launch several development projects at Amingaon in Guwahati today. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 95.77% in the country. Fatality rate declines to 1.45%. And in cricket, India on top as Australia loses early wickets in the opening session of second test at Melbourne. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a great day.